Very good morning to you all. It's my pleasure. Glad to see you here. As always, Happy New Year. Very early in the morning, 2nd January 2022. And I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for everything. So in 2021, what did we learn? What did I tell you at the end of 2020? What did we learn? We learned that it's not impossible to root out frauds and fakes. We learned that it's not impossible to have morals and ethics and values and principles. It's not impossible to stand your ground in the face of overwhelming odds and win. Apathy is the best way forward when it comes to the system that is designed to feast on your labor, your flesh. You don't have to give them anything. You know that, right? You don't have to give them your labor. You don't have to give them attention. You don't have to give them time. You don't have to give them money. You know, the old ATM acronym, attention, time, money. Thank you, RPM. You don't have to give any of that to anyone unless you choose to. And then there are always consequences. There's ramifications for making the choice to include people in your life. Now, I'm not saying that you should go out and be a hermit. I'm not saying that you should go out and do stupid shit with your time and your money, but it is your time and your money. So if that's what you want to do with it, if you want to wipe your ass with it and set it on fire, well, it's yours, right? You can do that. I wouldn't suggest it, but it's yours. You do as you see fit. This year was a banner year. It was a banner year. No, not Bruce Banner, but we sure as fuck hulked out on the fakes and the fraudulent, the charade. We hurt them, and we're going to keep on hurting them. And we're going to keep on hurting them. And we're going to keep on hurting them. And it doesn't mean that you have to go directly after these folks. You don't have to do that. Oh, I'm going to. I'm going to. And you haven't heard the last of it. There's a lot of people out here that are making time with your money, that are telling other men out there that stoicism is evil, that are telling other men out there that, maybe you just can't choose the right one. That's your problem. If every bitch that you choose be the wrong bitch, what's the common denominator? It's like walking up to a box of razor blades and selecting one and hoping that it doesn't cut you. Even the women that don't know what's going on out here in the ether still somewhat benefit from the idea of being able to ravage a man financially. There's no person out here that should lose 5 years, 10 years, decades of their life based on the whimsical bullshit that runs through other people's heads in regards to, I just got to find myself. I got to be happy. Okay, go be happy when we're a month in or 2 months in. You're talking about 10 years. I'm suspecting you just might end up with another hockey mask time. No, I'm not pushing violence. I'm not pushing the suggestion of violence, especially considering what's going on over there at the Seminole Fluid Order. So Fed and fraud got rooted out. Ed Hopkins, Donovan Sharp, got rooted out. Tomasi got rooted out. They still have huge followings. You know why? Because weakness is easier to indulge than strength. Strength is pain. We all know that. We understand that. I'd like to welcome the century mark to the chat. 100 of you sitting in here, chilling. Very early morning. I know it's early. It's an odd time to run a live, but I was up and I started thinking about this, and I wanted to offer words of encouragement to all of you. You don't have to put your battle armor on. MGTOW in the Manosphere is supposed to be a place where you can come and rest. Like our friend, the Thinking Man's Templar, says, you can take your armor off, you can sit down, you can rest and relax, share kinship with those of a like mind. And I think that that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing. Gents, I'm going to get up to the top of the chat now, and that's a long ways up. Long ways up. And we're going to see what's up. And thank you all once again for being in here. Master Wrenches. Me. Happy New Year, Master Wrenches. Thank you very much. Chris Vanakin. Hell yeah. JEGR. Yo. I'm saying Jack Ingram. Did I get that wrong? Yo, Joe Penny Pounder. Yo. Meat bags. I ain't seen you in a while, bro. Yo, Sir Yeetus, my man. Yeet. Hope you're ready for 2022. I am ready for 2022. Undead Chronic Son. Peace, brother. Keep the dirty side down. Mr. Hate Vicious. Yo. Sup, sir? Expat 11. Hammer. Late to the party. I hope 22 is better than 21. Well, for me, 2022 is probably going to be better than 21, but 21 wasn't bad. 21 wasn't bad at all. Started out this year traveling across the country to go and see Vincent MGTOW. On the way back, stopped in and saw Mr. Elite. Managed to get over to Terrence Pop and Blake's. This has been a pretty good year, a productive year, a good year. See, I don't suffer the ills that all of these other people out here suffer. I refuse to suffer ignorance and stupidity. Won't do it. Won't do it. I do not engage intellectual inferiors. Now, every once in a while, I will push him around just a little bit. You know, I'm sorry, but there's certain things that are said that must be countered. Do you have to have an ongoing rage fest with somebody for 3 fucking years? No, you don't have to do that. But if you choose to, that's your choice. So every once in a while, I will give them a little push in the right direction and give them a little bit of what they want, and then they feast and starve, and eventually just fade away. Chronic Blast. Yo, Hammer. Mr. Hate. Americus DeVille. MGTOW 2022. Riggs Jr. Hello, gentlemen. Hello, gents. How are you all doing out there? Uni, where are we going? We don't need no roads. No, we don't need no roads. As a matter of fact, we are the ones that are paving the roads right now on the pointy end of culture. That's us. That's you and me and the people like you and me. Undead Chronic, the War Band. A couple of them are in here right now. Sir Yeetus, late night stream. Yes, sir. Duality Reality. Mr. Behind the Scenes. How are you doing, sir? Hope everything is good over there in jolly old Britain, England. MGTOW Life. Gents. Yes, sir. Chronic Blast. Learn to be alone and cut off the Agent Smiths. My latest video for y'all to enjoy. Happy 2022. You get an opportunity to get over there and see Chronic Blast's shit. Go over there and see it. The man is definitely on the forefront. he's cutting like a sharp piece of steel. Timothy Sokol, Duality just subbed from my Scotty's side. Outstanding. Chronic Blast. The MGTOW spirit is all in sync right now tonight. I would agree with you. I would also agree that the prophetic words that we spoke at the beginning of this year have come true. We don't have to raise a finger. We don't have to say a word to anybody or anything. We don't go recruiting. We don't go tell, come on over here, young man. No, that person has to make the decision once they become exposed to the red pill, what flavor they want. Do you want fraud? Do you want a charade? Do you want that blue pill sponge cake that's drizzled in red pill theory? A lot of people think that they want that when they first start out. Once you develop those morals, ethics, values, and principles, the bedrock attributes, the foundation of what is going to set your life up, once you develop that, there's no going back. And sometimes it's unpleasant. Sometimes it sucks a little bit. But most of the time, I have found anyways, that even fighting through the knowledge that the true reality brings to you, yeah, it's worth it. At least it has been for me. I'd also like to take a moment to pass on my best wishes to the folks that we've lost. Michael Beck, Liberation Y, Archangel. Renegade One, Vention MGTOW, David Carroll. And I'm sure that there's a couple of more that I have not mentioned that I may not be familiar with. But I always think about them. I always think about their contributions to us and where we are now. And there's a couple of them in there that are titans. And I don't know that we would be here where we are now if it weren't for men like that. And of course, to all of the examples that continue to live. Human, Spetsnaz, Stardust. There's a ton of them out there, gang, ton of them. Don't be offended if I didn't mention you. We used to have the problem back when I first started that you couldn't stick your hand out and attach 5 quality names to a digit. You just couldn't. And then all of a sudden, it just exploded. Lion of MGTOW. That's another one. You know how it is? I know how it is. Unfortunate. I'm going to skip to the bottom of the chat here, gents. Forgive me if I did not read your comments. It's nothing personal. I can't get to them all. Dylan B, just like a woman, with that word twisting, corrected Shim, and the female hopped right out of it. Just like a woman always reminds me of the Masters of the Universe inserts and replicant fishes stuff. The fish is another good one. Ralph Souders, Happy New Year, brothers, and Hammerhand. Expat 11, Harlan Ellison. Love ain't nothing but sex misspelled. Yeah, I can agree with that. Wicked's Bane. I'm about to leave my woman if she doesn't get squared away. Well, you have an obligation to make sure that you're doing the right thing for yourself. You know, I have this saying, and I've said it for decades now. If I can't depend on you to do the right thing, I'm going to do the right thing. We both know what the right thing is. It's just one of us isn't doing it. There doesn't have to be any fighting. There doesn't have to be any drama or yelling and hollering and screaming. There just has to be the resolve to make sure that your life is what you want it to be. And if some people want to try to drag you down a hole and keep you there, you have to say no to that. You have to say no. Curtis M. Dylan B, you don't love your father, male friends, brothers, kids? Do you have plans to breed with them? I don't know what all that's about. I've jumped in the middle of some shit there. Santa Claus, Spetsnaz, made a new video a few weeks ago. It's fantastic. I'll have to get in there and check. He hasn't made anything in a while, so I probably didn't get the notification. Riff Megos, Master Wrench. You want a woman? Plantation is that way. That's the unfortunate reality of what it is that we do. Every path except for the one that you walk yourself leads you right back to some form of usury, leads you into being abused. Whether it's mentally or physically, financially, spiritually, emotionally, they've got this motherfucker locked down, folks. They've got it locked down. Every way to exploit a human being has been figured out, and they know what to do. The only thing in this system that works now is to not observe the system. That's the only thing that works. And unfortunately, that includes a vast majority of people who just want to be told what to do, how to act, where to go, how to use, how to abuse, how to consume. That's the unfortunate part about our system. Now, there are other things that could qualify as unfortunate, but I think that that's the worst one by far, is the lack of accountability that people demonstrate towards themselves and the people that they know. You know, I've walked out of relationships in my life. Now, I'm not talking about just people that I would bed down, but I've walked out of relationships before because what they were doing was a reflection on me. And I knew that if I was tied to somebody with low character, with an inability to see that what they were doing was incorrect, that I would be tied to them. So taking care of myself for a long while now has been numero uno, number one, at the forefront of every single thing that I do every single day. I can't tell you how to live. I can't tell you what to do, but I can say that for me, it's worked out. And if you haven't gone that route, maybe you should give it a try. I'm not asking you for money. I'm not telling you to buy my 10-part series for $99 each. I'm not telling you that I'm going to make you a man if you throw cash at me. Can't tell you that because it's not true. You have to put in the work. That does not mean go to the gym and work out 5 days a week, 5 hours a day. That doesn't mean that. If that's your thing and that's what you want to do, then cool, do that. I'm the farthest thing from a gym bunny that you'll see. I'm just not that. I'm not that. Strong, tall, a little on the handsome side, but bad old man's got some body fat. It just is what it is. I'm not uncomfortable in my skin. And the things that people say and do to try to push you to an area of discomfort, sometimes it's staggering. It's staggering. Love yourself, gentlemen. Love yourself. I don't mean like John Goldman loves himself. And that's not a crack. That's another thing that we learned today, this year. This prior year has exposed a shit ton of fuckery. These people are going to hold on to a large portion of the people that they use. They're going to hold on to a whole bunch of that power. They're going to have motherfuckers like Chrissy Meyer and Tim Pool run cover for them. The bright spots is that we have people out here that call it out every single time, every single day. That's a good thing. It still isn't the majority, not by a damn sight, but it's enough to make big ripples in that small pond. Let me jump back into the chat, gentlemen. MGTOW Live, Happy New Year, all MGTOW. Doc, howdy, men. M. Perlati, you brought me through the pain and regret, Hammerhand. I look forward to a bright MGTOW future. Thanks for being a lighthouse for the MGTOW ships at sea. I try my best. I have shortcomings. I fall short from time to time. It is what it is. I try not to repeat those mistakes. I try hard, and I don't beat the shit out of myself for falling short. I learn the lesson. I take everything from it that's usable, and then I get rid of everything else. And I would suggest that you do the same. You can feel genuine regret and remorse for a mistake or a willful action that leads you down the road to fucking ruin. Just try not to repeat it. Angel of Destruction, Curtis is here to stroke his ego because he sees himself in us and now he thinks he's better. Congrats, Curtis. You made a few bucks and got some pussy. No one cares. Go get married. Like our friend Vinci MGTOW would say, don't get married. If you're getting married, if you're hooking up long-term with people today in this day and age, oh man, boy, do you ever have it coming to you. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to happen in a year or 5 or 10. I am going to say that in the liberal states out there, 10 years is the cutoff point where you can bail. If you're with them for 10 years, they're getting half of all your shit. You're going to the bread line, and you're still going to be responsible to take care of everything else out there, including kids if you end up with kids. And there's too many men that are putting guns in their mouths or driving into bridges because of things like this. You see, they're encouraged to change. They're encouraged to grow. They're encouraged to get out there and do whatever, whenever, however. And more power to them. The more they support themselves, the less I have to worry about them sucking that tax titty. So I'm all for it. Go support yourselves in every possible way. It's not my job anymore. It's not my responsibility. I don't have the provide, protect provisions in me anymore. I purged it. It's gone. It's gone. Doesn't exist. And oorah to anybody that sees it that way. Psychosoap, read Green Eggs and Man by Michael Beck. It's Archangel from the channel Liberation Y at Amazon. I did not realize that he had a book out. That's pretty cool, gents. That's pretty cool. I don't know where the money would go. Is it a free book? Because I don't want to pay somebody. Yeah, I don't want to pay somebody if Mike's not getting the money, because obviously Mike's not going to get the money. He's not here. Cheers, gentlemen. Sorry about the drink noises in the mic there. Working City Prepper. Hello, Hammer. Good to hear you. Hey, man. Good to see you here. MGTOW Live. Happy New Year, Hammer. Happy New Year, brother. CK1 Abe. MGTOW equals peace. It can. It can. Internet shopping. Sorry, I have to disagree. We don't have problems. Others have problems. The only problems we have, we create for ourselves. Monk is the way. Well, if somebody false accuses you, did you create that problem? No, you didn't. You didn't. And you don't have to be with somebody to receive a false accusation. No. There's a lot of things that are out there. So respectfully, I disagree with your disagreement. There's a lot of people out there that are just looking for a paycheck, a payday, or to exact revenge for perceived injustices. And they don't mind one little bit throwing that evil, disgusting, filthy, patriarchal man under the bus and watching him rot. In the last 18 months, how many men have you read about that are being exonerated and freed from prison over false rape charges, over false sexual accusation charges? Dozens. And some of them have been in there for decades. Decades. I want you to think about that. Decades. What do I tell everybody every single time? Every time they start to get googly-eyed and a little mushy, and they're like, well, not all. Have the laws changed? No, they haven't. Have they been amended? Has the gender neutrality been put into them? No, that hasn't happened either. Have they been stricken from the record? I mean, maybe we got lucky. No, not that either. Did God come down from the heavens and touch everybody and just change the way that people do business? No, that didn't happen either. So what you're telling me is nothing has changed. So if nothing has changed, then your position shouldn't change. Your position on protecting yourself should never change. It should always be front and center. And that's why with those bedrock attributes that I talk about, morals, ethics, values, principles, controlling your biology goes hand in hand with those. It has to. It has to. If you let your dick talk you into a bad position, your bedrock attributes are going to follow the dick. Plain and simple. So you need to make sure that you have your biology under control. You have to see these people for what they are. Every single one of them is an agent. They're an agent. They're an infiltrator. It's what they are. It's what they do. Millions of them don't understand it. They don't know what they are up until the point where they decide to make a change with you and you have assets that they want to get a hold of. Then all of a sudden, they're a liberated woman. They know exactly what they are. They know what they're doing. Curtis M., raise your hand if you're taller than me, 6'2", and bigger than me, 220, not fat, and make six figures. That's what I thought. Don't tell me about being a man. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Is that a criticism of what's going on here? Or is that just you saying that you've got your shit under control? I'll buy the second one for sure. Success Pool Endeavors, Scorpion, hello. Timothy Sokol, I wouldn't be here if the hammer was untrue. Well, I appreciate that very much. Very much. Canadian Spider-Man at George Orwell. No kidding, brother. Not built for Canada, and it's too restrictive these days. Mexico or Costa Rica, bud. There's a lot of guys that are fleeing. A lot of guys that are grabbing up their passports, and they're run into Mexico. Mexico's not a terrible place, you know. I mean, they got some problems. We've got problems here, you know. Brazil. Brazil's not terrible. If you can get your shit together and get down there and speak a little bit of Portuguese, you can get that going. Southeast Asia. I don't know that I would actually move to Southeast Asia. I might try the Philippines, you know. I might try the Philippines, but that's down the road a piece. I don't think I'd be interested in doing anything like that until my son is of age. I don't have too many years that are left there, and I don't want to squander them in a foreign country. Angel of Destruction, Curtis. What do you work? What do you work? What do you work for? What do you do work for? Is that what it is? Success Pool Endeavors, agents of the plantation, ready to guide you back to slavery. Think about the varying forms of submission that you're in right now, of oppression that you're in right now. A lot of folks would say, "No, I'm nothing. I'm free as a bird." And are you? Do you pay taxes? Because if you're paying taxes, it's not willful. It's being stolen from you. It was never meant to do what it's doing right now. Never. The United States and the U.S. government has its power built off of the backs of people that are subjugated. Now, you're freer in a lot of senses than a lot of people all over the world. There is something to be thankful for. But you are a slave. You are a wage slave, unless you're very, very fortunate to love what you do, or you've been handed a trust fund, or you won the lottery, something like that. You are a wage slave. Plain and simple. You have freedom of movement. I won't deny that. I can go anywhere in this country I want to go right now as long as I have the resources and the means. Anywhere. So you do have some very, very good freedoms, but you're also being taken advantage of. Hella taken advantage of. Hella. So, Tech Biz Canada, you can't be free in a societal structure. A bird is not free in a case. This is true. Canadian Spider-Man, not gonna happen. Deep Thinker, Australia, Germany have camps, I know, and they will try to push it here. They will try to push it here. The only thing that has kept us separated, apart, and differed from the rest of the world is 1A and 2A. And they are under constant assault. Constant assault. Something to think about. Joe Man Gear, IRS can't have your crypto. There is no law yet, but if Janet Yelchin gets her way, there will be. They are working very, very hard to try to contain crypto. As a matter of fact, the U.S. government is buying up billions of crypto so that they can try to control the flow. You see, they can't control it totally. You need permission of node owners to make changes. That will never happen. That will never happen. They're trying to sabotage the value of crypto by continually bringing up Nakamoto. Who's Nakamoto? Oh, I think we've got Nakamoto. So that they can bomb the value of crypto out. It is what it is, folks. The U.S. dollar is the reserve currency for the world, and it's the reserve currency of the world for a reason. Because the U.S. went in World War I and II and murdered millions of people. Millions. Now, you can argue that there was justification. You can argue that there wasn't. What you can't argue is what has happened. And they installed a Federal Reserve, a national bank in every allied country. And that's where we're at. And that's why the U.S. dollar is the currency reserve of the world. That's why people like Gaddafi get murdered, why the U.S. finances coups against people like Gaddafi, because they decided that they were going to go to the Chinese petrodollar instead of the U.S. oil dollar. Can't have that. Every country that has tried to participate in China's oil-backed gold standard has been destroyed. Every country. So you know where you're at right now. At least you should. Just my opinion, though. Joe Man Gear, be rich, live great. Easier said than done, Joe Man. Rodster Piper, I could never give up my pew-pews. Gonna ride it out in the States. I am going to as well. Success Pool Endeavors, the founding fathers were anti-government, and rightfully so. Yes, they were. And if the founding fathers had any type of sway in the world today, there would be about 500 politicians getting lined up on the steps and gunned down or hung by the neck until dead because they all participate in it. Every one of them. That's also something to think about. Joe Man Gear, watch women shiver. Shiver? Do you mean shiver? I don't think that they're shivering. I think that they are loaded with confidence that may or may not bear fruit. I think that they are absolutely loaded with, no, not zinc, like the red hen, the red turkey hen. I think that they have billions and billions and billions in government support on their side. They receive billions and billions in government programs and assistance, and that is all paid for off the backs of men. And they're so far out of touch with the common person, with the reality of the fact that they live in a binary system with men, that they would wish that all men disappear. And frankly, I kind of wish it too. You know, give them what they want, right? Let them see how easy it's not. That just is what it is, folks. 39 minutes right now, 2:09 a.m., January 2nd, 2022. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate you. 226 of y'all in the house. Thanks for coming to listen to this old fuck just ramble a little bit. I appreciate it, as always. Mr. Hate Vicious, we are the tax cattle. Yes, we are. There's nothing on this planet that doesn't happen without the labor of man. Nothing. And I also include females in that because they're part of mankind. That's politically incorrect today because they feel slighted, but it is what it is. Fuck a bitch. Placebo effect. All good, Trini. How are you this morning? Timothy Sokol, self-employed. Guess I'm a house nigga. You said that, didn't you? You put that right in the comments. No, I don't think that means that you're a house. We had a friend back in the day. I hate that saying. We had a friend 20 years ago. This guy would go over and over and over trying to please his mama and trying to please the people around him. And we nicknamed him House, just for that particular saying. We nicknamed him House. every fucking where we went, it was, what you want to drink, House? Oh boy, stop calling me that. I said, nah, man, stop acting like that. And we'll stop calling you that. And we never stopped calling him that. That was funny as shit. Deep thinker. Wherever there's a Rothschild bank, you are screwed. That would be everywhere. That would be everywhere. Joe Man Gear, chronic blast. You the man. Canadian Spider-Man, try and put a needle in my arm. Go on ahead. Well, I ain't going to do it here. As a matter of fact, their narrative has completely evaporated here. It's fallen apart. The mainstream media, the alphabet soup group out there, they're still pushing this bullshit because, frankly, they have nothing else. They don't have anything else. Your media, your free press was supposed to be like your fourth column. They were supposed to be the eyes and the ears. They were supposed to watchdog people in power. That hasn't happened for 50 or 60 years. When you find out that Walter Cronkite was a communist, it kind of changes your perspective on things. Cardboard Kenny, 2A is for when 1A fails. Well, let's hope that it doesn't happen that way. Big Pitch, why is Hammerhand live streaming so late? Because I was just sitting here and I felt like I'm up. I'm awake. I'm going to do a little bit of model work as soon as I get off of here. And I figured, what the hell? Why not? Everybody and their brother is doing a New Year's Eve, a New Year's Day stream. I figured I'd jump on here and speak to the few people that probably actually have a lick of sense in their fucking heads. So why not? Free Ross, the crypto law is going to go into effect. They're ironing out the details. Good luck. Good luck. They're only going to get the suckers that decide that they're going to run crypto here in the States. David Smith, freedom isn't the right word. We have certain controlled privileges that can be taken away at any time. I would say that that's a mix of true and false. You think about who went along with and did not go along with all of this generated hysteria over Charlie 19, right? Now, if they could just go and take it, they would have. But they can't. They can't mandate, especially federally, that you have to forcibly be injected with medications. Number one, it's a peacetime war crime. And if you're going to go through with it, you have declared war against your population. If you force them, what you can do is shake them. What you can do is make them afraid, stir up panic. And that has been done effectively. What you can do is break the economy to make it appear like what you're saying is true. And they did that effectively. How y'all like that almost triple gas price? It's beautiful. Beautiful thing. Joe Man Gear, we are few and elite free men. You are also the ones with targets on your backs. But that's all right. I wear it well. Nate Dogg, our founders would have been stacking bodies years ago. You ain't kidding. You got that shit right. Wicked's Bane, I think natural immunity is much stronger. I'm sure that it is. But with something that has a 99.7.8% survival rate, that really, if you speak to the average person out here that has had it, not the ones that the media try to throw in your face, the average person, it's a cold. It's a cold. Some people have serious reactions to it. Some people die. But some people die from the flu and pneumonia, and we haven't had one recorded case of flu and pneumonia. Spectacular coincidence, isn't it? I mean, I think it is. America's DeVille, government wants to regulate it. Government is the problem. Yes, they are. Expat 11 PI banks pay 10% interest, form a trust, and open accounts overseas. Curtis M., it's okay to love people, just like it's okay to tell them to kick rocks if they prove to you they're not your friends. That's absolutely right. But you have to have the strength to do it. There's a lot of people out there that forgive egregious transgressions because they don't have the courage to tell a motherfucker to punch sand. See you later. You had your opportunity to do me right, and you did me wrong. So peace. No hard feelings. Just get to stepping. Dylan B., cucking Curtis, the coping coward in here, trying to teach us how to be men. I don't know. I haven't seen Curtis in here, so I don't know. I don't know. Celibate Scorpion going her own way. Craig Wright is Satoshi. Well, nobody has proved anything. No one has proved anything. Everybody has an opinion, but nobody has proved anything. And I don't care who it is. I care about the fact that the financial system is out there. It's doing its thing. It's competing with the dollar. And as a matter of fact, all of the dollar-backed corporations and banks are buying into it. That's all I care about. Chris Mitchell, pure bloods. Deep thinker, walking dead coming. Maybe. Salty no bad. Nobody gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna slow me down. That's a good song. Joe Man Gear, get Atomic Wallet and a Trezor. Yeah, Vention had a Trezor. And I can tell you that it's a worthwhile investment. Just make sure that you've got your codes squared away. You've got your entry codes squared away, or you're going to end up with a significantly sized crypto wallet that you can't access. Success Pool Endeavors, crypto is a threat to their fiat currency. That's right. Why? Because crypto does not inflate. It does not deflate. It does travel wildly. It's very volatile, but it's not artificial inflation or deflation. Joe Band Gear, buy gold and silver and hide it. And if you got to bug out, what are you going to do with your gold and silver? If you've got your gold and silver stashed in a safe deposit box and the banks are closed, or that particular bank is being overrun or burned to the ground, what good has it done you? Precious metals have a place. There's no doubt about that. They have a place, but it's impractical if you've got to go on the run. You know what I'm saying? If you've got to get up and truck, if you got to bug out, it's very impractical. My precious metal comes in the form of a Mossberg 590 with adequate shells. That's my precious metal. Status quo at Hammerhand regarding controlling the biology. Did you research water fasting? Yeah, I have done some water fasting. Don't do a lot. You know, I can fast 10 days if I have to. I've fasted 10 days 2 or 3 times this year. And, you know, then you slip into ketosis and your stomach shrinks and your body's working off of its, in my case, its fat reserves. So, yeah, it can be useful, especially if food becomes scarce, if food becomes hard to come by. And I know personally I can go 10 days with no food, with no actual food. But with as far as water is concerned, you're going to need something to drink in 5 days, easily 5 days, because you're in trouble if you're going 5 days. Free Ross, they're going to make a crypto dollar to compete with Bitcoin and other crypto. Well, that stuff will be held by the U.S. government. You see, that'll be a form of crypto manufactured by the government. And it will suffer all the ills that the fiat currency does too. Placebo effect. Oh, damn. Sounds like a concussion headache. I don't know what happened there. Curtis M. Who here has kicked family and friends and lovers to the curb because they were leeches? Me. Raise your hand. Me. Trini MGTOW at Curtis, do you work in a movie theater? Because you sure are projecting. Oh, shit. I guess everybody going in on Curtis. Well, that's all right, man. Everybody can go in on anybody else. Just keep it about the topic. Zool, no ETF for crypto in America. Big pitch, the Bretton Woods system. Never heard of it. Or maybe I have, and maybe I'm just not associating the name for it there. Nate Dogg, Nazis never stopped fighting. They simply switched tactics. It's common. There's a lot to be known about the National Socialist Party over in Germany, pre-World War II Germany, that you just haven't been told. You hear them crickets? Hear all of that silence? See all of them eyes rolling? Yeah, there's a lot that you haven't been told. War is dirty. It's filthy. It's inhumane. It's the worst thing that human beings can commit on one another. And then all of the lying, the cheating, and the stealing that comes after the fact is the second worst thing that you can perpetrate on other human beings. If you think you know the entire story about World War II or the rise of the stash, you don't. And neither do I, just to be clear. Expat 11, the safest banks in the world are Dubai and Bahrain. Well, I don't know. Johan Cloete, did I get that right? They killed JFK because he wanted to bring back the gold standard. Well, that was before the gold standard was dropped by Nixon. So I think JFK was murdered because he just didn't go along with the program. And then, of course, you assassinate the assassin. It's standard operating procedure. It's definitely CIA, FBI shit. Wicked's Bane, crypto dollar is flat as fuck right now and loss even. It's only dropped a couple of percent. It's not that bad. Canadian Spider-Man, we are mad as hell and we not stand for it. Yeah, Chris Mitchell, you don't need as much gold and silver in Canada, not as much as we all need guns. I believe you. Because I'm looking at a couple of mine right now, and I'm glad that I've got them. Chronic Blast, anyone who funds the government coin is dumb. But as usual, manipulation is everywhere when all money is an illusion. You're right. And I would not call them dumb in the sense that they don't have intelligence. It's just that they don't understand what's going on and they think it's a good idea. Most people buy into the idea of government-backed anything because they think that the government is so big that it can't do anything wrong. You see, they think if their information is coming from the government and that the media who sponsors that information is not going to lead them astray. No, that's not going to happen. Tim Wilhelm, they passed tax laws already where you have to report all digital transactions over $600 and file a 1099-K. What the fuck ever. Joe Mangear, slavery never ends, just perfected. I agree. And that's why I try to tell folks when they talk about changing the system, when they talk about doing X, Y, and Z, getting up a grassroots movement, there's already somebody inside your grassroots movement that is co-opting it as it's being grown. You'd need to drop a bomb on Washington and kill them all. And even then, you still have the heads of the individual states. Plain and simple. It's a hydra inside a hydra inside a hydra. The only way that it stops is if people become so aware, hyper aware, that 300 million people sit down and don't move. That's the only way. It's the only way. And then you have the contentious issue of who replaces who and when and why. So yeah, it's not just a small problem. It's a perpetual problem. And it's designed to be a perpetual, never-ending cycle of shit. Psychosoap, what new identity will the dollar take? It was cloaked in silver and gold and oil, and yeah, that's right. Eventually, all of those actual, tangible, physical assets will, in my opinion now, will be removed from the public domain, and you'll be given a digital piece of fiat currency. You see, your dollar, the money that you have on you right now, your coinage, your paper bills, they are promissory notes for those tangible goods. They don't really mean anything. They don't. They just enable a system that's based in fictional trade to work. And it's really fucked up that so many people don't get it. But that's the system that was fostered, and that's the system that we've got. Santa Claus, the corruption is widespread. David Smith, Murphy is definitely controlled opposition. I don't know if he is. What I know is that old boy, he knew what was coming. He didn't understand, I think, the dedication that people like myself or Undead Chronic or the War Band or a few others have when it comes to rooting out frauds and fakes. He's controlled opposition in the sense that he calls himself a conservative, Democrat to deplorable. He is none of that. He's a grifter, and he saw the opportunity to get in there. Conservatives don't stick sex toys up their asses on gay sites. Conservatives don't piss all over their girlfriends' soon-to-be wives. That's not the action of a conservative. Any person that is grifting around and caught doing shit like that claims that they're a conservative, well, they were just duping conservatives. That's not a conservative. Just like a real liberal wouldn't run out there and advocate for Second Amendment rights. Your body, your choice, right? Well, oops. Up until March of 2020, it was. Apparently that doesn't work anymore. Or 2019, which one was it? I can't remember. But I remember where I was when I knew that it was going to go down that way. Sitting in the dock talking to a fella on a forklift, and I said, yeah, man, they're giving us the next week off, 2 weeks to flatten the curve, baby. It's like, well, I could use a vacation. And then the entire world was turned upside down for not much of anything. There wasn't too much behind it. But when I tell you what was behind it, you're going to roll your eyes. You'll be like, oh, come on, man. That's some Alex Jones shit. How often has Alex Jones been right now? That's what really should concern you. Duality, reality. No, the Zionists are at Curtis M. Success Pool Endeavors look for the resurgence of the Amero Tech Biz Canada. Dollars have meaning. Their meaning is debt. That's correct. That's correct. Most people do not understand that money doesn't make money. Debt makes money. And there's only a few people in the world that really get that. Of course, all of your major economists, they get it. They understand that. They all have their varying views on how to do it, how to execute it, and pull that plan forward. Money by itself is just money. A dollar is just a dollar. How do you make that dollar $2? You indebt someone. That's how you do it. You offer them credit and then make the credit appealing. Man, you can get all of this shit right now. And for the tiny little sum of 18%, we're gonna make that happen for you. Debt makes money. Debt makes money. Joe Man Gear, I have ran away and I have the means to get by. Good for you. Good for you. Good on you, man. Big pitch. Legal fiction is the system now. Well, the law is not a fiction. The law is real and it's obeyed and it's propped up by people that believe in its validity, but it is fucked up. The law is not there for your benefit, folks. How many of you understand that? The law is not there for your benefit. The law is there because it protects the people that created the law. It protects power brokers. It protects your banks and corporations. It protects the people that are sitting in the halls of power. That's what the law is. You see, when somebody gets murdered and cops rush out to the scene, it's not because they care about somebody that got murdered. It's because a revenue stream was terminated. Whether they were on the dole from the state, whether they were productive and working, it didn't make a difference. Killing children, those are potential future revenue streams. And you're taking away from the people that have been so generous to give you just a 22% tax bracket. It's not because they care. All that dumb shit that people tell you, those human resources marketing campaigns that try to put a human spin on an institutional rule, those things are evil. And they've been evil for a long, long time. Strange, beautiful music. What a fucked up world. You ain't kidding, bro. And sometimes it sucks to open your eyes to just how fucked up and deluded people are. Because it seems impossible, right? It's like, how do we fix this? How do we get people to wake up? You don't. You don't. You woke up. That's all that matters, is that you woke up. Don't try to push your shit on somebody else. Just like with Christians and the Bible and Baptists, you can plant the seed, but don't go and tell them that everything that they're doing in life is wrong, because one of you is going to look like a lunatic and it's not going to be them. You woke up. You're not meant to control that tidal wave. Just let it go. Shay Necht, the crypto dollar is part of the mark of the beast. All financial control and manipulation is part of the mark of the beast, man. It just is what it is. But right now, I can't go out and knit somebody a basket and pay my bills. So that's the whole point of becoming financially independent and secure. Yeah, you're still using part of the manipulation to get you by in life, but you took care of business. You crossed your T's and you dotted your I's, and you didn't have to worry about succumbing to the pussy pass. You see, you didn't have to worry about cashing in 10 years or 2 decades or 3 decades, losing access to your kids. You didn't have to worry about that shit. Now, there's a lot of us that are in this chat and that listen to this channel. We've had to worry about it. It has happened. But it is what it is. Excuse me, gents. I'm going to take me a little draw here. Cheers. Cheers. One more again. Les pots de fleurs. Money are IOUs from a bank that other people agree to uphold. And who authorized the banks? The government. Who backs the government? Come on. Who backs the government? Where does this all come from? Supposedly, we freed ourselves from them when we made this country. Free Ross, John Goldman, and Fresh and Fit are manosphere infiltrators. They are. And we told you at the beginning of this year that we were going to take measures to bomb these motherfuckers out. And we did. And when you find out that a bunch of career criminals, liars, thieves, hucksters are running programs about men and masculinity and how you can level up, how you can man up, when 2 fucking gay guys are getting together talking about the state of masculinity and spreading that piece of shit message to young, vulnerable, broken, searching men, it's not hard to understand why we still have young, broken, searching men that value validation and the pussy hole more than they value their soul and their assets and the next 20 or 30 years of their life. Not hard to see it at all. And it's going to take some work for those men to get themselves free because they've been put into this. Just like you, just like me, just like the few women that are in this chat right now that I see watching. You see, they are paying attention. They are watching. They are trying to understand. I'll give them credit for that. We've got a few of them out there now that are legitimately putting themselves in the line of fire and not shilling an OnlyFans at the end of their 5-minute video. And that's a good thing. Success Pool Endeavors. Mud. Oh, and it jumps. Of course it fucking jumps. Mud. The philosophy remains true. John Murphy. Joe Man Gear. I had it happen twice by 2 different chicks. It's not a random thing. These chicks do it all the time. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Justin Brink. Fucking hammer. What a monologue, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Weapon X. Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them bitches. And that includes the ones with swinging. Fuck them too. You have to take care of yourself, gents. Take care of yourself. Curtis M. Reject the system, you lose. Work the system, you win. I don't disagree with that entirely. I don't co-sign that entirely. There's a lot of truth there, but it glosses over a lot of very important facts, some that I'm not going to address. Le Peu de Fleur. They are taking notes. TechBiz Canada, the government gets its authority from you, whether you give them explicit authority or silent obedience. I absolutely agree with you. 100%. 100%. Zool, female nature remains the same. How could it be anything different? How could it be anything different? All of these TikTok thoughts, all of these YouTube stalkers that you see out here that are doing their thing, that are just existing, just living, they have grown up in this. If they're under the age of 50, they don't know anything different. They don't know anything else. This has been handed down 2.5, 3 generations now. Oh, yeah. This is some devastating shit. The consequences for these actions has decimated the contract between men and women, has destroyed the trust that was in the government, that was in your fourth column, your media. It's gone. It has changed everything forever. I don't know what we're going to be down the road. No one does. No one does. Shay Necht, anyone holding masculine frame in 2022? Man, that you should have put a smiley face on that one. It would have been more obvious. No, I'm not. I'm just doing my thing. Just doing me, not in a Jack Murphy kind of way. Status quo just remembered Apex Alpha Male Coach Red Pill roasted Jack Murphy a few days ago. Well, like we say, man, if they've got coach in their name, you might want to look for your information somewhere else. And I don't care who the fuck is using it. There's no such thing as a life coach. There's just somebody with opinions, just somebody that thinks that they can tell you how to sort out a life that they've not had to live. Easier said than done. Joe Man Gear, women will know they are wrong. They already know that they're wrong, but they can't back out of it now. They're stuck. They're locked into this. So they might as well go to hell in a handbasket than try to come out of this flaming fucking pit with singed wings. That's kind of the prevailing theory with these folks now. Joe Man Gear, women will love us later. No, they won't. Curtis M., work the system, become a billionaire, then reject it if you like. Sure. And by the time you become a billionaire, most of your life is over. So you'll be sitting around with a fucking tiki torch, having somebody 3 times less your age serving you fruity drinks. Chris Mitchell, understanding is the first step to having the tools to manipulate something. I agree. But it doesn't necessarily have to come down to manipulation. You know, it can come to your mind as a way to find things that you can, I don't like to say take advantage of, but take advantage of. Something that can make you money, that can secure you resources without usury. That's a tall order, but, you know. AC3R, you have the right mind to be wary when the feds take note of what we are doing. Yes, absolutely. Big and Bender, accept the situation, but don't start liking it. Focus on things outside of the system's control. I would agree with you. Red Pill Fred, what's up, Red Pill Fred? How you doing, man? RPF in the house. Happy New Year's, Hammer. Happy New Year's to you too, my friend. Big time, big time. I mean that. I watched your video a couple of days ago. Working City Prepper, well, ladies forced medicating is fluoride injections that murders us men. Yeah. I remember when fluoride was first being advertised in its its industrial waste. The people don't have any real idea about what they're fed and what they consume. Yeah, you are being harvested over a certain period of time. I've said it before, those valuable years, those productive labor years from 16 to 60 is what they want from you. And then the fucking peanuts that they give you after the fact so that you can rot away in fucking detritus and live a substandard life on a system of Social Security that was never supposed to happen, never supposed to stay maintained. It was not supposed to be what it is today. But acquiescence, folks. What do we say? Cause and effect. Badass Taco, you go fuck them. HPV and herpes roulette with 4 out of 5 loaded Magnum chambers. Yeah, man. 6 years in a row now that the STD rates have gone through the roof, and 80% of them are female. 80 fucking percent. So who's fucking them? Who's spreading the shit around? Right? Is it the 80% of broads or is it the 20%, 15% of men? It's both of them. It's both of them. But women are degenerates, you see? They're as degenerate as you can. If there's a bottom to your barrel, to your mental barrel when it comes to debauchery, and they have even the remotest amount of like for you, or they want to acquire something that you've got, they'll follow you right in it. You see, that's the failing of the man becomes the failing of the woman. Don't ever forget that. Men put us in this position. Neo Doom 1, reject the needle, accept divorce. Jerry Alfred, Happy New Year, Hammer. Much love from Trinidad. What's up, homeboy? Trinidad in the house. Spud Lee, Pure Blood. Success Pool Endeavors. Based Chris started uploading your content onto Odyssey. Win-win. Oh, I didn't know that. I actually, I watch him over here on YouTube. So yeah, I didn't know that. So interesting. I'll have to check that out. Joe Man Gear. I'm in North Carolina, but you're all my buddies tonight. Right on, bro. Right on. Oh, I see Bass Chris is in the chat. Okay, well, what's up, Bass Chris? How you doing, man? Yeah, I didn't know that you were uploading my stuff. That's cool. Right on. Thank you. I appreciate the effort. Timothy Sokol and the wall will never be defeated. No, it won't be. And you've noticed that too here in 2021, where people say, especially females, I'm the table. I'm not. What a delusional statement to make. 281 of y'all in the house. 1 hour and 12 minutes. 1 hour and 12 minutes. Doesn't seem that way, does it? Based Chris. Wait, huh? Uh-oh. Looks like we got something going on. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's just the way it's going to be, I suppose. Joe Man Gear, placebo effect. Yo, man. Yo. Mr. Pliskin, call me Snake. No coincidence, Free Ross. No coincidence. Zool, female's mortality capability score is 2 out of 10 at best. That is not a joke. That is not a joke. Not a joke. Based Chris, I'm starting an Odyssey account right now. Right on, brother. That's the only other social media platform that I'm on now is Odyssey. And I still haven't gotten off my dead ass and imported all of my new stuff from this channel over to one of my existing accounts over there. So I probably need to do that. Success Pool Endeavors. No, Chris, I'm suggesting that you upload to Odyssey. Oh, okay. Sits liking you. You're the table, bitch. You look like you ate the table. Yeah. Look, man, how many delusional videos have you seen out there now? It's not, I don't want it to be in my wheelhouse that I bag on somebody because of the physicality of their bodies, right? I don't want that to be the case, but you also have to have the ability to state this is fucking ridiculous, that it's bizarre, it's delusional, it's an illusion for these people. You know, when you got these TikTok thoughts running around and they ask them, or they use this sound clip, you know, so what would you rate yourself? Are you a 1 out of 10? Or no, I'm a 10. And, you know, you roll on top of roll on top of roll. No, you're not. Well, beauty standards are subjective. Yes, to the person. Well, if you don't date trans men, then you're a bigot. Well, whatever. Well, if you don't date black girls, you're a racist. Well, whatever. It's whatever you got to tell yourself. Go tell yourself that then. That's copium. You know, one of my new favorite words, copium. It's copium in the 500 milligram dose. It's exactly what it is. You just cannot accept the fact that no one finds you attractive enough to bed you down. Now, there are certain people out there that will fuck anything. Go find them. There's an army of Simptastic out there. Go find them. They'll fuck you. Oh, wait a minute. They're not your type, you say? Oh, well, see, and there's the rub right there. Everybody has to do everything for you and accept everything that you think is valid. But when I turn that shit on you, all of a sudden, no, it doesn't work that way. No. John Murphy, they want a new world order, but not a revolution. They want to remove the middle class and feed everyone universal, basic income while they live out their Star Trek futures. It's coming, bro. It's coming. Why do you think this massive push for space exploration is on now by Bezos and Musk? It's not for the final frontier. It's to take the elite off of this planet. Now, I know what you're going to say. I know your eyeballs rolled a little bit. Some of you are like, hey, it's to take the elite off of this planet. They will establish those colonies 100, 200, 300 years down the road. And then people will start getting pushed to those colonies to mine those colonies, and then they'll flip-flop it. You look at planet Earth, it's a paradise. There's some inhospitable regions, that's for sure. But it's a paradise. So they're not leaving paradise to go mine Mars. That's not what they're doing. Some of them would like to do it and get that total recall on where they're so fucking far away from the mother planet, that they can't really be checked. But it is what it is. You'll find out about it. Placebo effect right on Joe. I am sober, was about to sleep, but decided to put the stream on. Wrenching to work. My man, I appreciate you. I really do. Zool, the days of government being the new religion. Oh, it's never gone away. It's never gone away. Shinobi one, brother, the way of the Kodiak. I've got 2 lambs that are ready for the knife, but I like them and am not that hungry yet. I will breed them for more lambs next round. Dude, man, Hammerhand has been around for years, but he's been sidelined. Yeah. Well, everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. What did I show you just a couple of months ago? They're showing you 24,000 and some change as far as the sub count. Then when I go track my subs, it's showing 90,000. People are continuously and unendingly unsubbed from this channel or blocked from seeing notifications. It is what it is. It's okay. It's okay. It means you're getting somewhere. Trini MGTOW, metaverse equals human batteries. Yep. Le pot de fleur. LOL, not only simps, the supposed alpha fuck anything also they can also, but no self-control seems to be the norm right now. Yeah. Well, there's not a lot of self-control in any region of anything. There's not a lot of self-control out there for anything. So that's not debatable. Ralph Souders, my ex was fine as long as things went her way. As soon as it went my way, there was something wrong. Yes, of course. Of course there was. Why? Because they know, beyond any shadow of a doubt, that they are better than you. They've been told that all of their lives. Everything that they say and do. There's no such thing as a dumb question. There's no such thing as a bad idea. They've been told this. Validated, reaffirmed, and then as soon as you say something that does not line up with that, you're the asshole. You're the dummy. You're the one that just doesn't get it, that doesn't understand. And there might be some truth to that. For real. Santa Claus, they know there's no saving this one. You ain't saving this one. Curtis M. Women have the power because men gave them their power. They never took it. We gave it away willingly. Yes, you're absolutely correct. If someone can look at you and say women have been empowered, if someone has empowered you, that means that you really have nothing. If you empowered yourself, that means that you have everything. And that's for real, folks. That's for real. Women were empowered to cleave men. Women were empowered by the powers that be to ravage the tax base. Women were empowered in the middle 1960s to kick men out of their homes for a check. Women were empowered to kill future generations at will. If you are still looking to get with one of these fucking snakes to lay with them, you deserve everything that you get. I used to be very sympathetic to men when it came to that issue. I'm not anymore. There's too much information, too much knowledge, and tens of thousands of examples. There's an example every time somebody goes to an abortion clinic, to a murder factory. I can't in good conscience lay down with somebody that believes this, that imbibes that filth. I couldn't do that. I don't know if you could. Maybe you could. Maybe you're just built differently. Maybe you're better than me. It's possible. Trini MGTOW, no, I believe that. They'll fly off to Mars. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Success Pool Endeavors, no, this is a prison planet. I didn't say that it wasn't holding us. It's holding all of us until we actually get off and do something on another planet, on another world. Yeah, it's holding us all. But it is a paradise. If you take away the human factor, the control factor, this submission, oppression, if you take that away, it's a paradise. Clone 87, too bad they can't leave. This is a prison. Canadian Spider-Man, I've seen women that will fuck a Toyota Tercel 5-speed gear. Yeah, man, I've seen it too. I wish I hadn't seen it. Way of the Kodiak at Curtis M. Bro, getting vagina is the easiest thing in the world out here. These hoes giving it away. We don't care about that. Wrong community. Fresh and Fit are over there. What has plummeted in value since about 1960? What has plummeted in value? Pussy, vagina. You can get it anywhere. You can get it anywhere. The argument that somebody can't get pussy, that's why they became a MGTOW, is just a phallic argument. They became MGTOW because they became afraid. They became afraid of what's going on out here in the world. Now, you may not have genuine fear. Maybe you're just hyper aware. Either one gets the job done. Be hyper aware. I am, and I don't mess with it. And there's reasons that I don't mess with it. Dude, man, what's all right is there's nothing out there outside this planet. Well, I don't know about that. Maybe, maybe not. Free Ross, in the movie Elysium, the elites ran Earth from outside the planet. Yeah. Faux show. Let me get on down here. Based Chris, fresh and simp. Better watch out. Maybe they'll run a copyright strike on this channel. Sucker bitches. And look how many people support them. Look how many people run up in there and say, well, they're telling me exactly what I want to hear. I got to do that. They all sell you the same thing. They sell you something. What's it based on? It's based on your insecurity. It's based on your inability to do your own work. People have definitely gotten dumber over the last 30, 40 years. A lot dumber. That's what happens when you pedestalize pussy. I'm not saying you should be cold or mean or nasty. I'm saying don't pedestalize them. Don't. They're not the end all be all. That's just what the media would tell you. They're a barren wasteland without you, without your seed. They don't have to live the same way that we live. When they say, I'm the table, it's time to walk. They bring nothing to the table. What did I say years ago? We chopped up the table and burned it. Table's gone. You ain't going to belly up to that fucking bar and tell me that you're going to surrender some scrubby pussy and that somehow I still have to pay. I don't think so. That's not what, Daddy Hammer does not do that shit. John Murphy, I won't leave the U.S. because I don't want to be a gringo during a global currency collapse in another country that doesn't have the right to bear arms. After the killing settles, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Joe Man Gear, I have to piss so bad, but I can't walk away right now. Well, I'm going to tell you what. I got to pee. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put on an opening, a long open, and we can all go relieve ourselves right this second. I'll be back. Ah, there you go. Hope you gentlemen enjoyed that little intermission. Everybody got their pee on, or you got a drink, or you got whatever you needed to get. Hopefully, anyways. Curtis M. I am not your enemy. Half decent woman still exist. You still have the freedom and power to create wealth. Do it. You know, I would agree with you, Curtis, all the way up until the point where somebody decides that they're going to falsely accuse. All the way up until the point where, well, she feels like she's put her time in, so she should come away from this relationship with something that she didn't walk into it with. Now, is that all women? Well, no. Do you know which women it's not? No, you don't. You see, the landmine used to be very identifiable. Now, the landmine is everywhere. It's invisible. It's a pressure plate, and you have no idea which one you're going to step on until you've stepped on it. You just don't know. This isn't a one-off kind of thing, Curtis. It's not. This is happening everywhere, every single day, thousands of times a day. It has happened in this community. It has happened everywhere. All you got to do is go look for it. That's all you got to do. And then you'll see it. And if you choose not to see it, because the wee-wee is getting erect and you want something to put it in, then that's your problem. That's your fault. And that's why we call it controlling your biology. You must control that biology. You have to be able to keep a sane, rational perspective on things. As soon as you get that dick fog going in your head, you're compromised. You'll make a dumb choice. Are you going to pay for it with your life? Maybe. Are you going to pay somebody in the court? Maybe. Are you going to walk away clean? Maybe. If I can say maybe to any of that, it's not worth the risk. Marla Polo 5454, respect to RPM, man. His red pill is a cold one. RPM has always done a top-notch job. Always done a top-notch job. I've always liked listening to RPM. Every once we've been talking for a little bit now, man, about getting a stream going together, and just can't seem to get it together. You know, but that's all right. I've been talking with a few folks, and dates and times just ain't lining up. So if we can get it out there one of these days, man, and make it happen, then y'all will be the first ones to know about it. Pale Rider, thank you, Joe Man Gear. Be listening for almost a year. Love this stuff. Infinity Serpent, finding a good woman is like playing roulette. You will more than likely lose on every bet you make. Well, it just depends on the length of the term of loss, doesn't it? Can you lose in a week? How about a month? How about 6 months or a year? How long does it take for somebody to flush your life down the toilet and make arbitrary decisions regarding your existence? How long does it take for you to get the message? How much of that shit do you have to be in? That's a tough question. That's a tough question. And there's a lot of people out here that don't even want to see the answer. They just want to go out and date, man. They just want to be happy. Why can't I just be happy? Because you're thinking about happiness and they're thinking about equity, equality. We only get 78 cents for every dollar. Blur, blur, bleedy, blur, blur. Oh, my pussy aches. You have to understand that these females out here, the kindergartners, the grade schoolers, the middle schoolers, the high schoolers, college students, and those heavily indebted professionals, all of them are invested 100% in the idea that you are subhuman, that you're evil, that you have no feelings. Plain and simple, that you deserve your fate. But somehow or another, they're still attracted. They still got the vagina vibrations for something that is that fucking corrupt. No, thank you. I'm not doing it. I ain't doing it. Badass Taco. Look at the chat flow, Hammer. I'm seeing it, man. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it, and I'm happy. Happy about you guys. 261 of y'all in the house, man. In the house. Santa Claus, the culture is one in which isn't conducive to creating virtuous women or virtuous men. Or virtuous men. Look, we can track this right back to the beginning. There's no deception involved here. We have the receipts. We can track this right back to the beginning, where this shit started. Where the degradation of man started was with the empowerment of females. Now, if you want to be empowered, female, go be empowered. Go have fun with that. I personally don't care. I care about what it's doing to the culture at large, but there's only so much that I can care about it. I ain't going to go out there and try to Superman the whole fucking world. It's not my responsibility. If you folks want to get out there and join hands, okay, I'll join hands with you. But what are we going to do then? What's next? The whole bunch of shrugging shoulders. I don't see no volunteers on what's next. Funny about that. Santa Claus, the culture is one. I just read that shit. I ain't reading it twice. Joe Man Gear. Okay, Hammer. Women will love us that know how to keep their attention. Well, if they're not in a perpetual state of agitation, whether it's emotional or physical, or they don't have somebody dropping material shit on them, they don't know how to live outside of that. You know, I tell my son that you have to be able to deal with the minutes and the hours in between your periods of excitement or pain. You have to be able to deal with life on a minute-to-minute basis. If you can't do that and you're always sitting around waiting for the next high or the next low, your life is going to stink. It's going to be miserable. And that's what these bitches are encouraged not to do. Not to do. Get on Instagram. Show everybody you're fake ass happy. Show everybody that you are fake ass happy. And they'll do it. They'll get on there. They'll click a few things off. They'll get their little attention volley. And then they'll go to TikTok and they'll start raging about how much they hate men. How much they can't stand the things that they want to fuck and bed down with. I don't know about you, but I don't see that anywhere else. I don't see that nowhere else. Society at large, culturally, is schizophrenic. It's fucked up. Trini MGTOW, women hunt men. Just ask Brittany Renner. Brittany Renner groomed a 17-year-old from college. Married him, had a kid, then left him. And now that bitch is going to get paid. In a perfect world, somebody would put two behind her ear. But we don't live in that world. Zool, women aren't wired to be good. They only focus on what they consider is fitting to reproduce with. That's not all. It's not, I don't mean that's not all women. I mean, that's not all that they focus on. Like I said, they focus on self-adulation. Entirely, 100%. That whole, what have you done for me lately? Sorry, Miss Jackson. Yeah. It's not lately. It's what have you done for me from minute to minute, and I'm still going to be a motherfucking ingrate. Why aren't you fighting over me? Why can't I live in your side pocket? Oh, you mean you need a life outside of me? Well, what's wrong with you? Fuck that shit. Infinity Serpent War Games, 1983. Watch it. It's a good movie. I like it. Riggs Jr., I've seen enough bullshit. I just want to stack my cash and be left alone. If not allowed to do so, I'm going on the warpath. Thanks for doing what you do, Hammer. A lot of men feel that way. A lot of men that ID themselves as MGTOW feel that way. When women start running their mouths at MGTOW or about MGTOW, they are either intentionally conflating MGTOW with people that they hate, or they're ignorantly comparing us to somebody that they don't know the difference between the two. That's all. That's all, sir. Good night. Yeah, that's it. That's all they're doing. I tell them straight, if you are complaining to MGTOW, you need to refocus your effort and complain to the people that still care about what you have to say. MGTOW don't give a fuck about what you have to say. We're not in a bargaining stage. You feel me? We're not listening to you. We don't care what you have to say. I'm not interested in what your vagina smells like, darling. I don't care what your titties look like, darling. I don't care about your table. I don't care about your PhD. I don't care about the kids that you sacrificed that now all of a sudden you want. I have seen way too much, and I don't want to see it anymore. So I reject you. I turn my back on you. But I still have an eye in the back of my head because I know that hoe will stick a knife in. I know she will. Fuck her. But don't literally. That's an open invitation to all kinds of shit. And that's just my opinion, gentlemen. You don't have to live your life according to my word. That's just my opinion on things. Get down to the bottom of this chat and check a couple of things out. See if we can read off a couple of these. Canadian Spider-Man, we just want to be left alone and let us stack our cash. Well, you know why they can't leave you alone, Canadian? Do you know why? Because your message resonates. Because the idea of going out there and, well, if I had my camera on, you would see what's going on in this motherfucking room. You'd see it. And they see it. And they think about, oh, man, if even just half of that was spent on me. He's an ugly motherfucker, but I'll fuck him if I can get half of that. That's what their decision-making process comes down to. They want the whole package, just like you do. But they will absolutely settle for any type of monetary or resource gain. You could be a fucking tree trunk in a sweater, and they will still fuck you to get that money. And I find that repugnant and repulsive. They don't have standards. They have delusions that represent themselves as standards. Le Pot de Fleur. Most women complain about the men they want but can't keep. Other men don't exist until they need them. Correctamundo. Joe Man Gear, Duality Reality. Thanks, bro. I'm sure I'll find something that will fit the bill. Ojit 1917. I wonder if the truck driver was a single Latin mom, would they give her 110 years? His sentence was reduced to 10 years because it was clear that was absolutely fucking insane. Look, people died in that accident. 10 years is reasonable, but he'll be out in 4 because that's actually legit. That's fair. 10 years, yeah, but he'll be out in 4. He didn't kill those people with a gun. He killed them with a truck that was out of control. He was a greenhorn. He couldn't fucking read or speak English, so he missed the runoff ramps. I think that it's tragic, terrible. But 100 years? Are you kidding? Is that a joke? Yes, it is a joke. It shows how your motherfucking system works. That guy didn't do that by himself. That driver didn't do that by himself. It was a failure on every fucking level. He applied for a job and they gave him a job. There's a lot of culpability with that company. There's a lot of culpability with the FMCSA. There's a lot of culpability with motherfuckers they keep pushing this fucking enrichment, this diversity. Well, a lot of motherfuckers died because of that, didn't they? Abso-fucking-lutely they did. John Murphy, who wants to fuck a bunch of serial baby killers? I don't. I'm not interested in that at all. Hang on, gentlemen. So, Free Ross at AC3R, what has a 27-year-old woman have? What does a 27-year-old woman have to offer a 20-year-old man? Most of her eggs are gone, but he is full of potential. Well, that's the reason that she groomed him. That's the reason that she stalked him. That's the reason she said so in her fucking videos. If you want to find somebody that's going to rich your ass up, get one of these young, dumb, up and coming athletes. And then they have no choice. They have a choice. They just don't understand that they have choices. Weapon X, only women I fight or die for is my mom and my daughter. I don't disagree with you on that, man. Just make sure what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Duality Reality at Psychosoap. Can you PM me it in Discord? I'll add it to the bot. Got you. Riggs Jr. I lost my last fuck when my last ex beat my dog senseless and walked off with a bunch of my shit. I'll never cohabitate again. And while we're on it, no cohabitation, no marriage, and do not provide children to these vampiric motherfuckers. You cannot trust who they are, where they are, or where they are going with any certainty. You cannot trust it. So don't trust it. Don't leave it to trust. Use your motherfucking brain. Use your brain. Steve Lichtwark. Check out Corey Barbie on YouTube, and you will see how much they hunt men. It's biblical. Corey Barbie. Hang on one second, gentlemen. Hang on. All right, I got that in another window. We'll see what's up. Merc 306, busy sanding these streets. Damn right. Damn right. Joe Man Gear, learn to invest right. Be the king of your county. Well, I don't know about the king of anything. How about just master of your own destiny? As much as you can possibly do that. There's a lot of things that are out of your control, man, but everything doesn't have to be left up to chance. Merc 306, Hammer, you on Telegram? No, I dumped Telegram, man. Shinobi Wan, sub the brother Psychosoap. Him the one with the soul. Infinity Serpent at Joe Man Gear. Only invest in what you're willing to lose, though. Well, an investment, you can have gain, you can have loss. Just make sure that what you're investing is something that you can afford to let go. Can you have a gain? Yeah, you can have a gain. Can you lose it all? Yes, you can. So you have to be smart, man. You can't make half-assed investments and then blame everybody around you when you make a half-assed investment. Joe Man Gear, I'm not bragging. I retired 10 years early and see slaves everywhere. Stop that. Yeah. Hell yeah. Sam Fisher. But Hammer, we do live in that two behind the ear two behind the ear, something's missing there. Two behind the ear world. Nobody is willing to accept this truth. Yeah, I know they're not. It wasn't that long ago in our history that this kind of fuckery would be dealt with in a lethal way. Now, I'm not telling you to go out and murder somebody. I'm not saying that. I'm not hinting at it. I'm not suggesting it. I'm saying in my own personal opinion, that she is an outright stalker, plain and simple. And she used this man's biology against him. He was dick thinking. Small waist, pretty face with a big bank, right? And what happened? Now this motherfucker's on the hook for decades of his life. And he has to be associated with her while she's out there rubbing her pussy on everything that she does want that ain't him. That's the world that you live in now. And if you don't want to get caught up in that shit, you better start thinking with the big head. Jit 1917, I covet no man's soul, nor is my soul theirs to covet. Ayn Rand. Jordan Moeller, when you start to feel that itch between your shoulder blades, it means her knife is coming. It's probably already in, Jordan. Probably already in. Saw your latest video, brother. Hysterical, as usual. Yeah, it means it's already in there, bro. It's already in there. A lot of people don't want to admit to themselves that they have daggers sticking out of their fucking face, neck, chest, and back. They don't want to admit that to themselves. But I see them walking around all day long. All day long. Jesse Forrest, dude, you are rocking the shit out of real truth here. Now I don't want to go to sleep. Well, man, you can go to sleep. Go to sleep. It's all good. You can catch this, the remainder of it, tomorrow or at your convenience. That's the whole point of doing this, right? David Smith, imagine where MGTOW would be if it were prevalent during the 80s. We wouldn't be right here, right now. I promise you that. Promise you that. Rodster Piper, oh, sweetheart, you got a college degree? Well, I guess we can throw these Viagras out. Not. Dude, man, British lady gonna marry a tree. Hey, man, I don't know if you saw it with a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago. This broad that married herself just divorced herself. So she married herself and she divorced herself. So yeah, even bitches can't stand themselves. The red-pilled vegan. That's one of the reasons why I will not cohabitate with one. I can't love them because I understand them. If you enter the domain of love, the mushy, shitty, soul-softening, steel-softening, emotional state that is called love, if you enter that, you invariably end up surrendering a huge chunk of your own ability to be accountable. And man, is that not going to be good for you? That's not good for you. It's not good for me. It's not good for them, because they're going to run all fucking over you. They're going to run over you. And then you're going to be looking for somebody to blame. And that's not the way it goes, man. You go look in the mirror. You go look in the mirror. Duality, reality, prostitution, nothing more or less. Look up the word vamp. Absolutely. Timothy Sokal. Sex to women are a lost leader to get you in the door. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's why I try to tell you guys, and I try to stress to you, control your biology, control how you feel and how you go off on feeling about other people. It's normal to look at a fine woman, and that could be any fucking woman, and just be like, that motherfucker is amazing. It's normal, gang. It's normal. It's what you're supposed to do if you are a normal functioning human. You see? A normal man is attracted to women. A normal woman is attracted to men. With all of this cross-pollination that's out here today, it's hard to see what normal is. I remember the campaign back in the 90s by all of the scrubs that were out there on the social set. Well, if that's normal, I don't want to be normal anyway. What is normal? Well, normal is not men fucking men and women fucking women and going on some stupid ass site, some chatterbait site, talking about, let me stick these things up my ass for some cash, because supposedly I'm an educated professional, but this is all I can do right now. Now that's a cuck. That's a cuck. That's a man that lives in a man's body that has none of the responsibility of a man mentally. That's what that is. There's some terrible shit that has gone on with that fella in his life that he hasn't told anybody about, that he hasn't made public in some stupid blog. You know, and I don't minimize that part of what's going on with Goldman. I don't. I know what it's like to be brutalized, as a child especially. It's just fucking unpleasant. And it sticks with you for all of your life. There is no getting around it. There is no nothing. There's learning how to live with it so that you don't blow your brains out. And some people cope by diving into sexual debauchery. Shinobi Wan, brother Joe Man Gear. I'm 33 and retired now, living in my farmlands, raising my own way of life. Unvaxxed makes me totally unemployable. Well, I don't know about that. Depends on where you live. They don't have any issues with people being unvaxxed in what I do, and most of the trades don't either. But then again, if push comes to shove, tell them go fuck themselves. Plain and simple. We always knew that the pressure to get stuck was going to come through the private sector, and the feds knew it too because they can't mandate it. It's a fucking war crime. It's a crime against humanity. Canadian Spider-Man, they will never take half of my camping equipment or foodstuffs. That is where my cash has gone this year. Hammer hand. Just keep that stuff good, man. Keep it in a place where it's not going to degenerate, where it's not going to come apart. Check it out, a couple of times a year. Just do what you got to do, bro. Make sure that shit works. John Murphy, private assets equals collectibles. Hammer is doing this. Stocks of Dow 30, gold, silver, certain real estate, and maybe crypto, but that is the riskiest of all private assets. It is definitely volatile. It is very volatile. Infinity Serpent, female, make a list of requirements for guys they don't want, but they also make a list of excuses for these guys they actually desire. The game is rigged. Walk away, become a monk. I can't tell somebody to become a monk. If you find that path naturally, it's going to be much better for you than if you try to force that path. So don't try to force that path. Being a monk it's a specialized thing. And I'm not tooting my own horn or thumping my chest. I am where I am because I want to be there, because I feel like it gives me the best opportunity to proceed forward. And it does. Hang on, gentlemen. Hold on. Yeah, somebody's car alarm was going off. I was just trying to figure out if it was mine or not. MSG Productions, I've got a death threat over a jab discussion. Well, shocker. Shocker. That's what happens when you try to cultivate and manipulate the weak and the mentally infirmed. It's all they know how to do is to be weaker and more mentally infirmed. Po bastards. We get down to the bottom, gents. We're approaching the 2-hour mark. I think I'm going to chop it at about 2 hours and wish you guys an amazing, hopefully happy, definitely productive 2022. Got to do that. Got to do that for all of you. Got to tell all of you that you need to be better out there for yourselves, not the do better leftist bullet point bullshit that they say. Do better for yourselves, man. Successful endeavors. Bobby Johnson, I was on a stream with Scotty Side earlier. Good stream. Good to see that too, man. Joe Man Gear, I know we are horny, but you control who gets it. All you got to do, let me tell you what I do. All I do when a feeling like that pops up, pardon the pun, is think about where it could lead me. That's all I do, is I think about where this decision can lead me. What can I lose for doing this? It's the same as if you decide you're going to rob a fucking bank. Where does that decision lead you? What do you stand to lose? How much shit can you actually get into? And that's what I do. I know what kind of shit can come my way if things go wrong. That's very possible she could just walk away. Very possible. But you watch 1,000 TikToks and not a lot of them just walk away. They don't. They don't walk away anymore. They want you to suffer. They want to make you regret not being their first choice. They want to make you regret that you found somebody that might treat you better. Even when they don't want you, they want you to regret and fear them. They do. Don't ever let it be said. Every once in a while, hoes get a reality check. They get a reality check when the greatest female fighter of all time gets stomped by a male competitor that is nowhere on the spectrum as far as rank is concerned. He was the one that answered the bell for the mixed martial arts fight that I'm referring to. You put female tennis players, the greatest of all time, Serena Williams, up against somebody that's ranked 270th in the world, and she gets blanked in straight sets. And then you got motherfuckers that will still go back to Bobby Riggs and Billie Jean King. That was a publicity stunt, folks. That's a publicity stunt. You already know what time it is, just like I know what time it is. Don't be regretful of the fact that you don't have vagina laying next to you. Be happy about the fact that you have the freedom to move. Be happy about that. Bomar Dubrochet, gentlemen, happy New Year's. Thank you, sir. ESP revaluation. Who's giving death threats? I'm going to put it up there again. Success Pool Endeavors. Gentlemen, if you're feeling a particular kind of way, especially on the holidays, and you feel like you need to speak to somebody, speak to them. Get it out there. But find a reason, sir. Find a reason to live, man. Find a reason to live. It's beautiful out here. It really is. It's horrifying, but it's also beautiful. And if you can learn to tune out all of the other bullshit, then every day above dirt will be a good day eventually. Eventually. I promise. Joe Man Gear, I'm divorced and it cost me $1.3 million. Well, I'm sorry that you had to give $1.3 million of your effort and your labor to somebody that was walking away from you. I assume, anyways, that she filed. I assume. Joe Man Gear, it hurt, but I'm free. Godmother, duality, reality, admin like have a blue wrench. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. All of my master wrenches are very trusted, and I appreciate them and their effort. I appreciate the fact that you're making the videos that you're making and calling these psychopaths out. It's one of the ones that I was talking about earlier, gentlemen. Good folks, and sometimes they just happen to have vaginas, and we have to be able to recognize that. We have to be able to talk. We have to be able to talk. Can't get trapped in a bubble. I, for one, want a way out of this shit. I want men and women to see eye to eye again. The unfortunate part is that I don't think that that's going to happen in my lifetime. And I'm okay with that. I'm good. I'm good. Jordan Moeller, Jack Murphy abdicated all of his power to the illusion that he's in control when the red hen has hold of the reins in that relationship. That's rule number one in any kind of a dom-sub relationship. The contract between a dom and a sub is signed off on by the sub, not by the dom. And it doesn't matter where you go in that, anywhere in BDSM, anywhere in kink. That's what it is. You go nowhere. Because if you did that shit without a person's permission, without their consent, you'd be in a federal penitentiary. He absolutely 100% abdicated all of his responsibilities to himself. Number one, to himself. And then he tried to get young, vulnerable, broken men to get on board with sexual debauchery and degenerate behavior. He's gone. Fed and fraud are gone. Ed Hopkins is gone. They exist in another realm now. It's not even debatable. But you have to be vigilant, gentlemen, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can't fall for con jobs. You can't fall for scumbags. You can't fall for the snake that's whispering in your ear. You can't. That's the duty that you owe to yourself. Gentlemen, it's my pleasure. It's always been my pleasure. It will always be my pleasure. You guys have yourselves a wonderful night. Stay vigilant. Stay productive. And I'll see you on the next one.